All right, it's 4 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order for the Hanson Board of Health. Today, Tuesday, August 8th, 4 p.m. Held in the second floor meeting room A. This meeting's being recorded. With me is Arlene Diaz present, and Kevin Perkins present, and Gil Amato present. First order of business is approve the minutes for the July 11th, 2023 meeting.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the July 11th meeting.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0-0. Next order of business.
We never actually got it. It went to the Board of Selectmen and it went downstairs. But
Right.
she thought we should still cover it in the meeting.
Right, so our next topic here is Melissa Panetti had submitted her resignation as a Board of Health member. So that was submitted to the town clerk. So I feel the Board of Health should probably just take a vote to accept the resignation.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we accept the resignation of Melissa Panetti with regret.
Okay, and I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0-0. Okay. Next item on the agenda is Transfer Station Committee. I know Melissa was really heading this up and she was doing a great job with it. So I think we kind of need to...
Do you know who the other members are?
I know Mr. Weeks is on there.
Oh, is he?
I believe.
Mr. Weeks is clerk and Mr. Dugan's the vice chair. Is that how I'm not positive.
I'm not sure on the
and
positions,
who is the accountant just sits in, or is he a member?
I don't believe he's a member.
He sits in.
No, he doesn't.
So
He doesn't anymore?
No.
I had exchanged an email with Mike Dugan about this. Just they were looking for someone to, kind of fill in after Melissa's resignation.
Right.
So they were looking for someone on that. So I don't know if, depending on, maybe we can reach out, Gil, and find out kind of when they're meeting and, what their hours are, and then maybe between the three of us, we can work something out to see. Even if it's just, we all have to kind of pitch in to attend the meetings, one here, one there, or if someone can kind of designate to it.
Yeah, I just think for one point, I thought she was meeting on Fridays at one point, but then I don't know.
I believe it was last Thursday evening.
Thursday evening?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
we need to find out when they are.
Yeah, why don't we do this? Why don't we see if Gil, either you or Teresa, maybe tomorrow, could send an email over to maybe to Joe Weeks and find out what the scheduling's like, and as far as when they're meeting, and we'll see who's available.
And was she chairing that meeting?
I don't know. I don't know. She was really handling all of it.
Right.
We just got the updates at the meeting. I mean, she was really taking charge of that and doing a good job with it. So.
You know who else was on that? Todd. Mac from DEP.
Todd was doing a presentation.
Oh, he just did a presentation, that was it?
Yeah.
All right, well, why don't we do that? Why don't we send out an email and see if we can get some information on that and see if we can pick up the pieces on it and just designate someone, or like I said, maybe we can all just kind of pitch in. At least one of us can go to a meeting if the other person can't be there, and we can bring the information back to the board. You all right with that, Arlene?
Yeah.
Okay.
There isn't much else we can do.
All right, so why don't we do that? We'll send out an email tomorrow. Maybe Teresa can reach out to them and just find out status on it and see
Believe it or not, someone took my pen.
how we can get back involved in that.
Did you see it, guys? Thank you.
All right. Next item, septic plans. We have 2 plans. We have 7 Thayer Drive. We'll look at that one first. That was proposed by Webby Engineering.
And I couldn't tell, on one of them I couldn't tell if, it's probably this one, if all of the things that the engineer noted were made, because I couldn't see a date on the plan.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, we'll take
all
a
of
look
this.
here. Here's a plan. Phil, you have a plan over there?
No.
There you go.
This is all stuff, it's
Yep,
just
the review
notations.
notes,
Yeah, and I couldn't tell when they submitted it, so when it was sent back.
Typically, if you look down here, you'll see revised per
But on my
review.
computer, I couldn't see it.
Yeah, sheet number 2. So the original
Yep.
submittal date, well, the plan was drawn on 6/22/23, and then it was revised on 7/17. And this review was done on 7/12, so
So he did it.
we can verify and make sure
Okay.
on the plan, look at some of them and make sure they're corrected,
All right.
but typically that revision date would be after review comments were made. So what we have here is a proposed septic repair plan for 7th Air Drive. It looks like they have
It's right by your elbow.
requested for maximum
This
feasible
one?
compliance.
Yeah.
They're looking for a groundwater variance where it would require 4 feet of separation to groundwater from the bottom of the SAS, and they're looking for a variance of about a half a foot. They're looking to go to 3.6 feet instead of 4 feet, and that's to eliminate the need for a pump.
Yeah.
This is
And it
pretty-
looks
That
looks like
was
on
the
some-
only thing.
On some of the review comments, looks like there was a mention of water line sleeving and relocate. That looks like it's been done. An offset on the property line to the leaching field. That looks like it's done 38 feet on the setback and then 20 foot on the other setback on Brook Street. Breakout elevation.
That's been done.
Yep, they got a breakout elevation. It looks like all these were addressed.
They were addressed.
Yep.
All right, Matt, I'll make a motion that we accept the plans for 7 Thayer Drive with the one for feasible compliance.
Okay.
Yeah, 3.6.
Okay.
All right, so we have a-
reduction.
So your motion is to approve the plan as proposed for 7th Air Drive?
Yes.
Okay, I'll
Yep.
second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 200. Mr. Deputy Joel will sign this.
Good.
Where am I?
Right in the
On the
bottom.
bottom, all the way down.
Down here?
Yep, down here somewhere there should be a signature.
Yeah, right there where your thumb is.
Yeah. Is it here?
Okay.
Is it your name and the date too?
8th.
I'll put this so that it's all together.
One more plan. One more to go on the bottom of that. Okay. The other plan is for 808 Whitman Street, proposed by McSweeney Engineering.
There might have been 2 things, that 2 variances. He was asking on this.
Here's a copy, Joe.
I believe the revisions have been completed on the plan. Variances are on the top of the plan, in the
Mhm.
middle.
Okay, so the variance is requested on the plan.
Yep. Are
Uh,
you good with it? I mean, you good with the plan?
Yeah, so the variance is requested, the SAS to drain, which intercepts seasonal high groundwater proposed,
Yep.
41 feet, the required 50, so they're looking for a 9-foot variance there. And there's also a request to allow the use of a sieve analysis in place of the perk test. Yep.
Yep. All right, then I will make a,
And all the review comments are made,
yeah.
okay?
I'm not finding the
So-
address. 808 Washington?
Okay,
Oh,
so,
Whitman. Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we accept the plan for 808 Whitman Street, with the 2 variances as noted on the plan.
okay, so we have a motion to approve the proposed septic plan for 808 Whitman Street. I'll second that, all in favor?
Well,
Aye. Okay, 200. Gil? All right, for old unfinished business, we have for 2 topics. We have public health nurse and transfer station. Which one do we want to go?
We'll go with the public health nurse. I mean,
Okay.
we still haven't come up with a job description, so I'd like to get that done.
I thought we had one.
We had a long generic one type, and we were going to custom fit it as far as.
Melissa had one, and she had circled the things that were important to her, that she thought were the most critical things. And I thought that we were just talking about looking at how much would we go forth based on the. She wanted to know how much an hour the Whitman nurse was making, and they're making $30 an hour. And how far would that take us? My concern is, are you running the reports from Maven, communicable disease reports?
No, I'm not.
Okay, my concern is that be done, even if we have to contract with somebody, the Whitman nurse, to do it short term while we're advertising. All of this time, none of that's getting looked at.
And there's been less cases of it, you know.
But how do you know if you don't? I'm not talking COVID.
No,
I'm not talking COVID.
I do review it, like, you know. But I think, come up with a description and you know, do something with a shot, because you do that.
I have 2 other descriptions I can bring in from other towns.
Yeah.
So we need to do something about the communicable disease reports.
Yeah.
They have to be followed. We have to at least check them to find out what it is.
Yeah, I think if you have some job postings that we can kind of get some information from for a job description, and we can get those into Teresa and Gil. We can get going on that.
I don't even think we have a copy of that in the office.
The one that she has?
Yeah.
She had to have gotten that from the office. Because I remember when it was created,
I'll check with Teresa on that.
4 or 5 years ago. Because she clearly highlighted areas that she thought were more urgent than sort of some of the general stuff that we're not going to be able to do because we don't have the money to do it. I was just looking at those job descriptions a couple of days ago. But I would like to see if we could contract with the Whitman nurse to do. Were they doing them once a week? Maybe. She wouldn't necessarily need to do it every day.
No, they don't do it every day. They just.
But if she could do it once a week, and then we could play catch up on what's out there for the next month.
I feel we really should do that.
I would be happy with that until we can figure out what we're doing, because we don't know. I found out about different diseases because I talked to people. But they are required to be followed up. So.
If I recall our last discussion on, I think it was the specifics of the job posting. We were looking for someone, I think, more or less per diem, and not really like a part-time.
Oh yeah. We definitely it was not the plan was not to be
not to be
part-time.
Right.
It was to be per diem as we needed.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is what I think she does for. She doesn't. I don't know what she does in terms of Whitman, but there was another program she was doing that for. She was doing per diem work for them, and she wasn't doing it over the summer. I do know that.
I believe she was working 1099 subcontract.
Okay, so she's subcontractor. So she, and I know she works a certain amount.
We could do it that way. Probably the easiest thing to do.
It would be, because we wouldn't want to. Yeah.
1099 subcontract with vendor. That'd be the easiest thing to do.
Okay.
Right, and I think the only concern we had with that was just making sure they had some sort of, liability policy. Working as a subcontractor.
Right.
Where they wouldn't, if they were an employee of the town, they would be covered under.
They would be covered under the town. I can ask what she does for her others, because it's liability insurance is not that outrageously expensive. I have it, my own personal liability.
Right.
About $400 a year, and it's worth it.
Right, and I'm sure that there's probably already something in place if they're doing it.
If they do it, she's doing it for 2 other places.
Right.
Yeah.
So, should I make a motion that we engage in a contract with the Whitman Town Nurse name for per diem work? Actually, to catch us up on that.
I forget her name.
Last name begins with a B. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
I have no problem with doing something like for the interim, just to
I think we
bridge the gap.
Yes.
But,
you know,
Yeah.
my only concern is just with that we're following proper procedure as far as if there's like something we're supposed to post and advertise, that kind of thing.
Okay, and
That would
then
be
I
my,
can
that
find
would
out
be my
from
only
Lisa.
concern, you know?
Yeah.
But as far as like doing something soon,
Wait,
just to bridge a gap,
To bridge a gap
I
for her?
have no problem
Yes,
with
and
it.
then we are gonna have to post, eventually, once we figure out exactly what we want. We get that, it's Kimberly Bombardier.
yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, so let me go back to my motion. I'll make a motion that we, contract services for Maven reports and updates. I don't wanna put us, maybe up to 2 hours a week, or an hour
I
a week?
think they're pretty fair if they do. I mean, you know, you don't know what comes in as far as the follow-up, how much the follow-ups last, you know.
Right.
A lot of times it takes a while for them to call people and get calls back, the labs and stuff. Calling labs and stuff like that takes a lot of time.
Alright, so I don't wanna put a time limit, I just think.
Do you wanna make a motion to, consult with them and get like, not really an estimate, but an hourly wage, that kind of stuff?
It's $30.
It's 30,
$30
you know that?
Yep.
Okay, maybe we'll just specify that in the motion.
Teresa sent us, an email after our last meeting.
Yep.
And told us that, and that's
Okay.
what I kinda had gotten from her.
Mhm.
So, I wanna make a motion that we contract services for, Maven reporting. I don't wanna put a time on it, or an amount, just that we contract until we can get the job posted, that we use the contract services, and then we'll need to figure that out.
Okay, and you wanna just make that pending, just a discussion with Lisa to confirm that we're not
Pending approval through HR.
creating any issues with contracts or
Right.
job postings, anything like that?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll second that motion. All in favor? Aye, 2-0-0.
And what makes this easier, when I spoke to Maven previously about this, they can just carry her qualifications right over to me.
Oh, yeah,
They'll
yes.
just make her part of
And they'll make her, she'll have Hanson
Yeah.
accessible.
so,
And she did say that she could do it.
yeah.
Okay.
So this, I think you might have asked for this report. I'm not sure, the Triple E West Nile virus report, that comes,
I get that.
you're getting that?
I get that.
Who asked for that?
I don't know. I get it in an
Is it
email.
Melissa?
I get it
You
in
get
an
an
email.
email? Okay.
Yeah, I
Alright,
get
so
an
You
email.
wanna cover that in your agent report?
Oh, well.
We'll go transfer station.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't,
Back to that.
I do get an email on that.
Okay, so,
Alright, so the next topic for old unfinished business was transfer station update. Gil, you wanna take?
well, the transfer
Take that.
station, we had that meeting, well, I won't even jump to that other meeting, so. The transfer station runs pretty good. The containers, it appears at times the containers are light, but they aren't actually light. It depends on what's in the containers. And we brought this, to the attention before of the company. The driver should have a somewhat responsibility of what he takes. When he picks that container up, he should know whether it's light or, something's not right. And we did question a couple of containers, and they felt the containers were full. And I've got Chris and John. All you can do is take a mallet, go along the side of the container, and it'll tell you what's going
Elizabeth
on.
Assange.
Okay, so getting into that, the place runs pretty good. And when DEP did the report on the transfer station, they said it was being run very well. And we're one of the few in our district that run this way.
The containers that you talked about, was there any way to follow up the ones that you thought were light and get a weight on them?
It depends, like certain things where, like even the recycling containers, they can go from 2 ton to 4 ton.
But I mean,
You
if
never
you
know.
had one that went in and you thought it was light, is there any way to get the weight from that particular container so that you know whether it was light or not?
Well, we do get the weight slips. The weight slips come in, but you can't tell what was in
You can't
the
tell which
container.
container it is.
You can tell which container it is, but
Okay.
you can't tell. Yeah, we get billed the container and the amount, and it tells you how much was in the
But
container.
I'm just trying to figure if there's a way, if you say, okay, I think this one's light, can you follow that to the actual weight?
That would really depend
Yeah,
on
when
if
they-
they have
when they go
specific
to it.
serial numbers that they can match
He's
up
saying
with.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when it gets weighed at their place. The
Right.
weight, so.
That's
But,
fine.
you know, and just asking him to pay, you know, better attention, to what's going on there. And, you know, we're doing real good on this, you know, clothing recycling. That's doing very well. The swap shop is slow. It's not taking off. I've talked to another person, maybe that might volunteer for it and, you know, help out, you know, to make it. We gotta make it work a little bit due to the fact that we do get DEP points for that.
We do.
We get points. It's in our report, you know. So
And I know last month we talked about potentially moving it into one of the containers.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and at the last meeting, when we were talking back to the weight on the dumpsters, I know that it was, you know, brought up by Chris that a lot of the gauges aren't working, that there's issues with that.
Right.
And I know we were gonna, Chris, or the office, you guys are gonna reach out to, you know, put them all in one email with the contact, with the rep that comes out and with the
email, I
maintenance.
did call them,
Did we get anywhere with that?
not as of yet.
No?
No, it's not, you know, Chris called them, I think it was last week again. They haven't really responded to it. You know, it's pressure gauges. One of the biggest things, you know the pressure when the thing's pushing. Like the other day, we had the cardboard container was scheduled to go out. And I happened to be up there, and what I found, when the piston pushes in on cardboard, the cardboard has to go into the container. If it doesn't go into the container because it creates a wall, it gives you a false fill. So on my, you know, I do, you know, talks once or twice a week with those guys, and, you know, making sure that, you know, we try to do better as far as, you know, making the containers full, because we got to cut down the loads.
You were talking about gauges and stuff, right?
That's the
And is there a
pressure
way?
gauges.
But is there a way to make them replace them so we know they're working
Yeah.
properly?
Right, I mean, it's their responsibility to maintain the equipment that we're
Right.
leasing from them.
Yeah.
It's their equipment. I mean, I think we really need to push the issue and stress to them that these things being inoperable and not working correctly are costing this town money.
Right.
So I think we need to really get a hold of someone there and really stress that and get someone to fix them. If that's the make or break decision between the attendants up at the transfer station making a decision to send a dumpster out or not, and we're sending them out on occasion with light, where it's costing us for the haul either way, and we're paying for, you know, a dumpster that's going out 3/4 full or half full or 5 days, whatever it may be.
Based
that
on wrong
we want to
information.
get the most value for our dollar and make sure that they're all going out full. So,
Yeah, in fact, I'll reach out to the actual guy that, you know, did the contract. You know, they've been they've reorganized and everything, and, you know, trying to get things done. You know, they're giving Chris a little bit of a tough time, but I get the text from them, goes Chris, myself, and John to them. And, you know, like Saturday, I was up there Saturday because the truck wasn't quite there, but we had the containers full. The containers were packed, so. You know, so.
all right. But I
and
mean,
stay on top of the
regardless of,
transfer station.
I mean, I understand they're staying on top of it, doing the best they can, but if, like I said, this is something,
Yeah.
it's their responsibility. They need to maintain it, and it's costing us money. So if we're not getting a good reaction from whoever the point of contacts are that Chris has, I think we need to go to the next step up.
Yeah.
And, you know, go over them to see about getting it resolved. If it's a matter of costing the town money and, you know, making us increase our budget for something like that where we shouldn't have to.
Phone, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the transfer station goes. But the swap shop is, you know, the thing that's gotta be, I mean, myself also, but I talked to this person, I think we can get someone else to, you know, go in there and maybe do a couple hours a week and try to get it moving a little bit better than what it is. It's actually too small, and it should be a lot larger than what it is.
Yeah.
Because like I say, we do get RDP points for it, and we get monies for that, so.
Okay, so still on the transfer station topic, so the job posting for, it was gonna be for a part-time or a per diem
Per diem.
attendant.
Yes.
So, Gil, you had mentioned that you had reached out to
I
the
reached out
union
to
rep.
the union rep, because, you know, it's potential the union could have input to it. So he's they're meeting there, the highway department is meeting with the union rep Thursday. He's gonna mention to him, because he has his own phone, cell phone, his own email, so he'd rather come from the union rep.
Yep.
So he's gonna, you know, inform me Thursday.
And I think
Just
that's,
their opinion on what we're trying
well,
to do.
I think they should be involved in the process of the job description, job posting, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, just so we're not trying to do this 2 or 3 times and they're not happy with it, that just involve them early in the game and make sure that we're all on the same page before we post anything. Eileen?
Yeah, because they're not gonna do anything unless we put pressure on them to do it. Absolutely. Oh, you're talking about women.
Yeah, talk about.
No, I'm, you know,
Yeah, going back.
because I'm looking at this and I'm saying, should I be signing this? This is South Shore Recycling. And I'm like, no, the board sent me as a representative. I was thinking conflict here.
No, just with the posting for
With the
per diem
did we
attendance.
find out if we could do per diem? That was our question.
Well, that's
Apparently-
what we're reaching out and looking for
yeah.
feedback from the union rep, just to make sure that we're
Is it it's a union position? Was the part-time one a union position before?
No.
I
No,
didn't
we
think
just
so.
wanted to make sure, as far as, per diem, whatever, we wanted input, what they had to say.
Right, but if we're taking the part-time position and we're just making it per diem and not part-time, and it wasn't in the union before, why would they want it now?
Well,
No, we just to be
not to
safe.
involve it in it, just to make sure that we're not causing any issues with it, and just run it by them and just involve them in it, in the posting. I think that's a wise move.
Yeah, did we find out if we could do per diem?
Apparently we
From
can.
Lisa?
Yeah, apparently Teresa talked to somebody that used to say we could,
Okay.
so we can do per diem. And that's what we basically want, I guess. We
That-
want
yeah.
an on-call person.
Right.
Not a person to set up so many hours, we want an on-call
Right.
person.
And I think we had discussed maybe trying to get like a small list, maybe
Yes.
two people or something,
Yeah.
just in the event where it is an on-call.
So that we have a pool.
Yeah.
Where it is an on-call position. I mean, you can't expect someone to just be sitting there waiting by the phone for us
For
to
you
call,
to say you need me on Saturday.
Right.
Yes. It would be helpful if we could do those 2 things and get that done. Making sure through Lisa, because she's the HR person, that we can do per diem, and then have somebody check with the,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna let me know Thursday, so.
the union. Who's the union rep for highway?
Kevin Dykes. He's a steward.
He's the
I
steward.
spoke to him here
So
today.
he would be able to,
Yeah.
Yeah, even though where it would be, like we're saying, potentially a per diem position,
right.
and it wouldn't be a union position, but it's still gonna be the same, they're gonna perform the same job duties really, and you know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
realistically gonna be performing the same job duties, so.
As
we
the
just want-
attendant?
As the full-time employees that are up there. So we just wanna make sure that it coincides with what their agreement is and what their job description is, so that was the
Yeah.
reason, I think, for getting feedback from their rep. Is there anything else on the transfer station?
Well, one other thing I forgot to mention that, on those compactors, people don't understand, they got dead man switches, the guy has to stand there holding the button
Mhm.
for in and out, and a lot of people don't understand that. So if they get 7, 8 cars there, yeah, they're slow because they have to hold the button.
Mhm.
And they go, you got 2 guys there, you got 5, things, and they make a circle all the time.
Mhm.
It's not that just stand there doing nothing, they have to hold the button.
Right.
And trying to make people understand that. So.
Are people complaining?
Oh, people say, they're busy, the cars are in line, and the guy's just standing there. The guy,
The line's not usually that long.
but the people, people are impatient,
Okay.
so.
I can't remember going up there and there being such a long line. Even if it's like 2 or 3 cars, there's 2 lanes open. I don't know.
All right. Were there, on the next item, were there any septic plans approved after this agenda? Or
No, and
anything
she's
left?
taking
No.
that off
Okay.
because
Yeah,
we're no
she's gonna
longer
take it
doing
off,
that. But I just wanted to go back to the transfer station, to the swap shop.
Okay.
I know that Melissa had a sign-up sheet thing that she had, and I don't know if that's accessible, if it would need to be set up again. I'm still gonna do some Saturdays there because I have the things to paint. I've still got like 4 shelves to
Yeah.
paint. But she had someone else, there was another person she had a sign-up genie or something. And it would also send you a reminder
Is that on
when
the-
your
that-
time was coming up, huh?
Was that on Facebook? she had that?
Yeah, because she posted on Facebook, I signed up, and it automatically sent me a reminder like 3 days before that I had said I would volunteer and the time and the date.
Maybe Teresa set that up for her.
No, it was Melissa.
Really?
Melissa.
That's
I can reach out to her and ask her if there's a way either to show us how to do it. But yeah, I mean, I know she had somebody else that was volunteering, but I don't know who that was. She would have that information. So I'm still going to be up there on Saturdays. But you'll have to let me know when you think we could move it. 'Cause the space is small.
Yeah, the space is small and it needs,
As you walk in, you can see right through the bottom, and the mold in there is so bad, I have to wear a mask when I'm in there.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about that. It's an old building. But I think if we could move the stuff, and then I was gonna ask her about, once we get it the way we want, then maybe once a week we could put on the Hanson transfer station has these items. If you're looking for these items, so that would draw more interest in. So the people that, maybe don't go over there, don't know where it is, would be more interested in picking stuff up.
Yeah, no question about it, we have to, improve that.
Mm-hmm. And if we could do that, then that would be good. But I am gonna finish painting this shower.
Okay.
I need it.
Ongoing project updates. I mean, we kind of covered that with the transfer station, and Gil, you'll probably touch on the rest of that in your agent report.
Yeah.
With the warrant articles.
Yeah, the warrant articles, and like I said, we submitted them this week.
Do you want to do your agent report kind of from there? I mean, I know we touched on some of it, but do you want to just kind of maybe just walk us through, give us a quick overview?
Okay, well, why don't I start off with this 1057 Main Street.
Okay.
We've been in a lot of executive sessions and stuff about this, and it's coming to a head. But this is the letter that we're going to be sending out that I've discussed with the town council. And
This is a 20-year process.
pardon?
This is a 20-year process.
I know, but this is what we're trying to, trying to get all the departments, to
On the
come
same
up.
page.
Yeah. So I guess they are making, I guess he's hired, consultants and everything, so we'll see what takes place. But we're still proceeding, all departments working together, getting on the same page and doing something with this. One of the problems with the Board of Health is that we do residential. We're not involved in a lot of commercial stuff. So we're going at it under the nuisance law. So.
I'll wait. I have a question on this, but I'll wait and ask it after. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So
I'm just asking for, just acceptance of that letter as a draft. It's still in draft.
Okay, so this is a draft of a letter that's going to go to
Yeah,
town
the draft
council.
didn't come out when it printed, so it should see draft on it, so.
Mhm. So this is an emergency notice of
Yeah.
condemnation and notice to vacate.
Oh.
It's under, they'll decide, they'll present this to, the courts. And so we got a long process ahead of us to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna change, but that's the gist of the Board of Health thing there, so.
Do you want to just kind of overview of what this is, Gil?
Yeah, what happens?
Kind of
all
go
the-
through with
all
what the
departments-
violations were and the inspections that were
Yeah.
made, and
Yeah.
you want to just do
I
an
was there.
overview
I
on
was
this?
there just once, and this is what I saw going into the place because I had contacted Massachusetts Helper Association's attorney, and she had sent the general chapter in law here on what the nuisance thing is as far as building and stuff. Like I say, we're very limited on commercial buildings. So this is what I came up when I walked through the building with the fire department and other departments. You've got building, fire, electric, and plumbing. All the departments are trying to get together and come up with violations that are currently in that building.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I've come up as far as what in my purview I can do.
Yeah.
And
Do you want to just go through them though?
yeah,
Actually
like the
itemize
bathrooms.
them and read them?
Yeah, bathrooms, no hot water and accumulated trash. Most areas of exposed wiring. The whole building's nothing but exposed wiring. It falls under the building inspector, but also falls under public health and safety too. So they're buying some of that stuff. You know, hundreds and hundreds of feet of extension cords connected to each other. And it just presents a safety hazard and health hazard. You got propane tanks in random areas of the, you know, of the building. No ceilings throughout the building. There's ceilings that in certain areas, but the ceilings are so stained from the roof leaking, it's created mold in certain areas of the building. And we got lack of handrails everywhere. You know, you go up a ramp or something, you're supposed to have handrails. That's part of, you know, health and safety. The tripping hazards. There's a lot of them because the building, the units in the building are built as they rent them. So someone wants to 10 by 10.
Someone's throwing up walls.
Throwing up walls, and the electricity is brought in by extension cords, and plumbing is brought in by the plastic pipes. So. Yeah. And we had one unit that we thought was potentially someone living there as mattress and box spring and a bureau of clothing, but it's kind of a narrow unit, so.
But didn't he have somebody staying there one time that you said was security?
That was approved years ago, and it's his son that lives there. It's an apartment that was created for security because he felt there was so much vandalism going on, and that was approved years and years ago.
And that's up to code?
Yeah, that one section right there, that one piece is pretty good. So there's another unit. We went in. Appears to be a game room. It's got propane tanks laying on the floor, a portable propane heater. So I thought that, you know, public safety hazard, even though he's you know, it's a commercial building, it's still a, you know, public health safety hazard. And the biggest thing is the areas of the roof leak, and the roof leaks down at these kiddie pools. It's directed to the kiddie pools by plastic taps, and the kiddie pools fill up, and then they get pumped. He's got some pumps in the kiddie pools that drain it out, or holes going out the window. So this is my part. You know, this is my part, and this is what, you know, the attorney's working on, and he'll review this letter again. I have to send some. He wants me to put some codes into this.
Did you take pictures?
Oh, there's I didn't take pictures, but there's hundreds and hundreds of pictures.
Okay.
All the departments, you know, there's so much wiring, just exposed wiring everywhere, and the extension cords they go on and on. Like you've got a unit here, it's got an extension cord with a surge protector, and another unit, you know, it's all extension cords, there's no hard wiring. And the sprinkler system and piping, which is, you know, not part of my purview, but it's, you know, 2x4s holding it up instead of the steel, you know, hangers and stuff. So, and it needs a lot of attention. And the, you know, the building department, like everybody's, you know, going to band together so that we have everything put together at once. The fire department's been there numerous times, and I think we've got a pretty good handle on it. We meet every Monday at 9 o'clock. We're going to start meeting at 9 o'clock. All of the departments will go over this stuff, and we, you know. So I think it's very important. Just I think if you approve the letter and just approve the letter and draft, this is my show. And
so basically, what you're looking for us to do is to just take a motion of support of this draft letter to go to town council to draft a letter on behalf of the board and the town to go to the owner of the property.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll do that.
All right, so we have a motion to
approve the draft letter to go to town council.
Okay. All right, I'll second that. All in favor? Aye.
Very good. Thank you.
2-0-0.
So did he? I'll do these articles now. Did I already give you a copy? I thought I made 2 copies.
Articles?
I don't believe so. If you want,
I got bills.
Okay, so this was some stuff that the transfer station committee, I believe, was working on, along with the accountant. It was articles for the warrant for the next meeting, and it was one article to see if the town will vote to transfer a sum of money from available funds, free cash, in the amount of $50,000 to be added to the transfer station salaries and wages. That would be proposed by us. The explanation is this line was cut from the requested budget line. This would restore the budget line to its requested amount for existing employees.
But I thought we had to have those in a while ago.
Yeah, last week.
Okay, so
These are in.
these were done after our last meeting, because the
Yeah,
last
that's
meeting we only
meeting.
said the only one we had was the, money for the septic. Going,
That's
yeah,
also in here.
that's
So-
in there, okay.
So
But-
Yeah, that I knew, and when was the money cut, 50,000?
We,
previous years, right?
previous year.
It was
somehow-
it was
It was a selectmen's meeting or
Underfunded.
something about,
intentionally it sounds,
you
you
know?
know,
I don't know.
not
That's-
intentionally, but it was
So the $50,000 is gonna cover what? You said salaries?
salaries and wages.
Yeah, so what happened, different departments got randomly cut, and we weren't aware of it, so I met with the town accountant, you know, as far as, you know, the funds for, you know, septic loan, and, you know, asked them for all set as far as transfer station, because the Melissa and Mike Dugan were working on that. And he goes, well, you have to restore what the place cut, and that's restoring what they've been cut. And it was, these cuts were randomly done.
Okay, so I'm a little confused. The $50,000 is for transfer station salaries?
Yes,
How are we paying people then if we have been cut 50,000?
this budget's cut, 2023, 24 budget, 24 budget was cut.
But not 50,000. You said
50,000,
50,000, right?
50,000 out of the
50,000.
disposal works and 50,000 out of the transfer station salary and wages.
That's,
Okay, so
that's the
I
other
thought it was
combined
all-
100.
oh.
But what they wanted to do, I believe, was break it down into two articles and not just lump it in as 100 on the total.
Okay, so my confusion then was that it sounded like we're asking $50,000 to be added to the transfer station salaries and wages.
To restore what the original budget was.
But I need to know where that's going, because people are gonna say the transfer station is coming to us for tax money, and you're asking us to raise people's salaries
So
by
when they did-
$50,000?
No, it's
But
When
that's
they-
what it sounds like.
No,
it's not to it's to be put back into the budget for salaries and wages that was there that was cut.
Okay, that was it,
That's
but
my understanding.
what are we paying people right now, and how does that $50,000 impact the people that we're paying now? So are you talking
This was-
about to beef up the ranges that people can get?
no.
It doesn't make sense to me.
The
If
people,
there's people that
whoever
take a pay
did
cut.
this, whether it's finance committee or whatever, they randomly cut different budgets in different departments. And the Board of Health budget was cut $100,000. 50,000 in the disposal line, $50,000 in the transfer station salary.
Okay, so that, to me, would have meant after that, we couldn't hire people. So that we may have had an extra person that is no longer working there who we were funding. So this is essentially gonna fund a new position.
No, well,
Well, it could.
existing.
Yeah, that to me, I need more information because I'm not clear where that money's going. And if we're going to ask for more money
No,
for
we're
salaries,
restoring.
you're not restoring, because right now we have 3 people there. If we had 4 people there, which we probably did, say 5 or 10 years ago, and then for some reason they cut it and we no longer had that part-time person, or that full-time person became part-time, they might have done that 5 years ago, but right now, to me, it sounds like you're either giving people big raises or you're putting in a new
No, this
position.
was cut out of the 2024 budget.
I'd have to see
Budget
that.
year,
This
yeah.
other,
Yeah.
the other article is
Yep.
to see if the town will vote to transfer some money from available funds free cash in the amount of $50,000 to be added to the transfer station disposal services.
Yes, that I don't have a problem with, because we're gonna
Again.
spend that and then more.
Again, this line was cut from the requested budget line. This would restore the line to its requested amount.
So, with the first one,
It's the same.
I can see this having been done last year. I don't know about the salaries. When was that done? When was that cut? Because it doesn't make sense to me.
It was
We're
cut,
paying the
it
people,
was cut before the 2024 budget.
so you're saying it was
Apparently they
cut
did this-
2023?
Yes, the reason why they did this to balance the budget.
I don't remember that happening.
The other article,
I do not remember that happening.
this was the other article that was, we had briefly touched on this. to see if the town will vote to appropriate, raise the taxation, or borrow from the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust or otherwise sum of $500,000 for the purpose of financing the following water pollution abatement facility projects: repair, replacement, and or upgrade to septic systems
Yes.
pursuant to agreements with Board of Health and residential property owners, including without limitation all costs thereof as defined in Section 1 of Chapter 29C of the general laws or otherwise, or take any other action and related thereto.
I thought we had already voted on that one though. At our meeting, betterment loan. We talked about it.
I
talked
Was it
about-
last month?
talked
Or the
about
month
it,
before? I thought we
use the
voted
article.
on it.
I believe we
article.
talked about drafting the article. I don't know if we actually did anything as far as,
That's the article that's going in October town meeting.
Yes, and I thought we did it because we had to have it in by a certain time. It had to be in by the 7th or something.
That's the right article. and
That's the right article. I don't have an issue with the article, but I thought we already approved this. If it wasn't at last
You might have-
month's
you
meeting,
might
it was
have
the meeting
approved it.
before.
You might have
Well,
approved it, we had to
Let
have
me
the
see.
right
I
language,
don't,
you know?
let me see.
I think what we
Here.
should do is probably just act on it and we can
Yeah.
resolve it out, because I don't think we want to wait till next meeting
See,
on it.
right here?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's it.
But I don't believe we actually had the article in front of us or anything.
We didn't need
We
to.
didn't have any wording.
We didn't need
just-
to.
okay.
We didn't need to. We voted that we want this article, and that we did it because we didn't want to miss the deadline.
Mm-hmm. Right, yep.
I knew we
Yep.
voted on
No,
it.
we never missed the deadline. These were done before the deadline.
Okay, but we did vote on this, to place that warrant.
Okay, so then.
We voted on it.
And
I
we-
had a betterment loan article for the October town meeting. The loan will be the amount of $500,000. We did that already. We voted on it.
And
to
we
make-
we do have the jurisdiction to withdraw an article as well, correct?
Oh, we do.
Okay,
I think,
so
I think we do. Yeah, we can ask it to be passed over.
To be
We don't
passed.
withdraw it, we can ask for it to be passed over.
So I think we probably
So
should
this
act on
is
this and
all
then we
set.
can look into more of it.
This? But I think we already have, is what I'm telling you. This is enough to put it on the town meeting. And it should be already on.
For this one.
For that,
Right,
yeah.
but these other two, I think, in the interim, that we can get more information on them. But I don't know if we really want to wait till next meeting to officially do something about it.
I don't have a problem with this one for, transfer station disposal services.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have a problem with that. I need to know what this is before I'm willing to vote on that.
No, I agree, but we're not voting on approving anything. We're just supporting the article to be on the warrant.
But I understand that, but I don't want to do that until I know.
That is the
Exactly.
amount, that is the amount the town accountant
I
gave for the
understand, but
article.
I need to know more about this
Okay.
before I can vote on placing.
But I don't
it
believe
on the article.
if we don't do it at this meeting, I have a feeling that,
We'd have to do it in May.
right.
Uh,
So that's
yeah.
what I'm saying, if we support these now, just to make sure we're covered, and hopefully we haven't missed a deadline on it, but hopefully we're covered, and that'll give us to next meeting to look into it, and then we can,
Yeah, I'm really
Do
not
something with it if we
comfortable.
need to-
I'm
if we
not
need to.
comfortable with that. With that one, I'm not comfortable. With the other one, I don't have a problem. I would need to know exactly what the story is and follow the docs with that. That one I'm not comfortable
but
with.
again, I mean, this article is not to give
Once we
increases in
approve it,
wages.
We submitted a requested budget, okay?
we always do.
Okay, what we did. Okay, someone came along and took the requested budget to all the departments and they cut certain
They did it,
amounts
they
of
do it every
line.
year. They do it
And
every year.
nobody really knew this. I found out from the town accountant when discussing about disposal. He says you've got to restore $50,000 in disposal line and $50,000 in the wage and
Is it-
salary line, transfer
Is
station.
the town
pension.
accountant here?
I'm not
Is
sure.
he
if
here today?
He might be here. You can even email him something.
Yeah,
we'll keep
I
the
am
article.
not comfortable with this because I do not, every year, the finance committee always said they took so much money away from us. And we would go back and say, no, we need this money, and it would be voted on the floor. I do not ever remember a time when we had $50,000 lost from salaries in the 5 or 6 years that I've been here. So I don't know when that happened.
It's new to everybody.
I'm not so sure that it's that they cut the budget, I'm wondering if what the proposed amount was less 50,000 than what it was supposed to be.
I don't
That's to
know,
get
because the
number.
proposed amount is just a proposed amount. I need more information.
My only concern is if this, I hate to be this is something that we need to and want to go forward with, and we don't do anything about it, and we.
But we can do it in May, because if it's salaries, it would be, it's salaries that are not in our budget now that we're not planning on expending, and we would have time in May to, I'm just not comfortable with
Aside
this.
from a part-time or per diem employee that we've been discussing.
Right, part-time per diem, the money's already in the budget.
Okay.
It's already in the budget. This, I need to know more about this before I could vote on that.
You can call that Mike Dugan, he's very best one to explain.
Well, Mike, it wouldn't be Mike, it would be the accountant. Because in all the time I've been here, we've never lost.
I was told we had to restore $100,000.
Who told you that?
The town accountant.
Then he's gonna need to come and talk to me. I'm not comfortable.
All right, well, why don't we do this?
But I definitely, the other one, I don't have a problem with. That I know is going for services.
Okay, regardless of what we talked about with the betterment loan program.
Oh, yeah. You wanna vote on it again?
I think just, we have it in front of us, so.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion for the Board of Health to propose the article to transfer some money available free cash in the amount of 50,000 to be added to the transfer station disposal services.
Place, yeah, you said propose place.
Propose and place the article.
Yes.
And then also to place an article for.
Do you want to do them separately?
What, I'm sorry?
You want to do the motion separately?
Okay,
Yeah.
if you want to.
Yeah,
Sure.
just so that if there's questions about
Sure.
it. So that was your motion,
Yep.
I will second it.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Yes.
200. Okay, and then
Yep.
also for the Board of Health to place an article for the sum of $500,000 for the septic betterment loan program.
I'll second that.
Okay, so I'll make the motion. You'll second it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, 200, and, I'll make a motion to table the proposed article for,
You could ask for a placeholder, if it's a placeholder on that. Which means you don't actually give it to them, but you have the right to rescind it later on, and I would ask that I would consider. It would just
okay, do you want to make a motion on that then?
I'll make a motion that we submit a placeholder to be placed on the regarding a restoration of $50,000 into the Board of Health budget for salaries for the October town meeting.
For the transfer station, right?
Transfer station, yes.
Yep.
Transfer station salaries and wages.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye, okay, 200.
And then we would have to vote on it to put it on.
Okay, so we have a placeholder for the $50,000 vote to be added to the transfer station salaries and wages, and we're going to place an article for the $50,000 to be added to the transfer station disposal services.
Yes.
And we have placed an article for the sum of $500,000 for the sewer betterment loan program.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
We're all in agreement on that? Okay. All right. So for the one that we placed, if we can get, I know that's kind of all happen at once. We got to get someone involved in the transfer station.
In the
committee.
transfer station, and then the writing up of the wording of the actual article.
Mhm.
The placeholder will allow you to say, okay, we're placing something or we're not. And I don't know if it's too late to do that, because I thought the deadline had already passed. I was surprised last month that we only
The
had
submittal,
the deadline.
the submittal is, oh yeah, the submittal of the articles is already gone by, it was the 7th. But this is a placeholder, the article's there, so.
But this is after, yesterday was the 7th.
Yeah,
Okay. Yet I knew we had already done the betterment loan. That's why I thought we had done what we needed to do last month. That was the only one that we were gonna do was the betterment.
All right. Well, there's no real chairman's update, but I mean, if we want to just recap kind of some follow-up stuff we got to go over.
Mm-hmm.
So we got back to the public health nurse, just to recap on that. So we're going to, you were going to try to get a couple of available
Yeah, I have
job
them at home.
postings
I do, I have, yeah, I have
that
a
we
couple
can
at
look
home.
over.
I can
And
or send.
you want to ask Teresa tomorrow to reach out to Lisa, or Gil, you can, about just send an email just to ask her and make sure that we're following proper protocol as far as acquiring services
From that
from the
person.
contact from
Yep.
Whitman.
Yes.
Okay. And then on the, what was the other item we were going to follow up on? With the transfer station, Gil, you were going to follow up with highway and
Yeah.
the union rep,
Yeah.
just
There's just to have it, you know.
touch base with them on, just make sure that
Yeah.
we're within the guidelines and that the job description, you know, is descriptive
Yeah.
enough that they're happy with it, that it kind of coincides with what their positions are up there. Okay. And the other item was the transfer station committee. So we got to reach out to, maybe, I think Joe Weeks might be a good person to reach out to, and just find out about, you know, well, when they're meeting, I guess, first of all, is the question, what their meetings are scheduled, so we can find out who can attend or who
Do
they
they have a
can,
meeting tonight?
who they want to work with, just so we can get someone
No,
involved in that.
because they, when they have a meeting, Teresa has to post a meeting.
I'm talking about selectmen.
Oh, I don't think I need that.
I never pay attention to it.
Yeah.
I know it's every other week, I just don't know when the last one was. So that's the only other thing that's, yeah. I have no idea when they were meeting. Or where they were in the process.
All right, was there anything else? Do we have the notes on follow-up stuff?
No, I have a question about one of the bills, so I'll find it. No. Nope, I, gave a copy of that plan to the fire chief. And at some point, he's gonna be having a meeting and we're gonna be talking about recruitment for the Medical Reserve Corps. And I did have somebody reach out to me about having a table at Hanson Day from the Medical Reserve Corps, wanting to recruit people that then would be available for Hanson to put up shelters, cover our emergency dispensing sites. So that's the only thing. I did give him that, and he did say he's gonna want to do that at some point in the future, to start building.
Okay. One other thing I think that maybe we should touch on is, again, just back to Miss Panetti's resignation. I mean, she was handling a lot and she did a great job, but we have to now fill that vacancy. So I believe the proper procedure for that is the resignation's been made, we accepted it. So I think we need to, at some point, I believe, have a joint meeting with the selectmen.
We do,
to
but
fill that.
we have to get people to apply.
Right, so that,
The
right,
first thing
right,
is
so that's the
get
question
people
is.
to apply, and then we can set up a joint meeting.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think what had to take place, the board itself here had a vote. You know,
We
so
have to vote,
that's-
and then we set up the joint meeting.
Right, you had a vote. Because the
Yeah, so
selectmen-
we would get applications and have them come in and talk to us. We would pick whatever we wanted and then go downstairs and have a joint meeting with them at some point. And we want to do that. The quicker the better, especially when they get into town. We want to do it before they get into town meeting because it stops us from being able to do some of the things we need to do.
Right, so I think, is that something we want to discuss with downstairs to see if maybe we can post it or put it in the Express
It
or
should be
something?
under their volunteer opportunities.
Where it was so recent, I'm not sure. I think maybe we should just follow up to make sure that it
Yeah,
I
it gets out to
believe,
the
Can
public.
be. They mentioned it, I think, at
Teresa,
the meeting 2 weeks
The
ago.
selectmen accepted her resignation as a courtesy thing.
Like
to
2 weeks
honor-
ago at a meeting.
You know, it was because, you know, just to honor the fact that she, you know, gave it all, well, she did. And it was an honorary acceptance of her resignation with regrets. So the resignation had to go through the Board of Health. And Beth Small, the town clerk, gave Teresa the procedure that has to take place once this board accepts the resignation.
Right.
So Teresa has that, so.
Yeah, I believe something along the lines of like 30 days or something.
Yeah,
I believe
so-
we had to notify, we notify basically the select board as where it's an elected official, not an appointed.
They're
So-
appointed by them if it's in the middle of a term.
Right, so what happens from what my understanding was that we have X amount of days to notify them, so now that we've accepted the resignation, we can have Teresa draft a letter, just to send downstairs, just to say we've accepted the resignation.
Right.
And notifying them that we're working on filling the vacancy, and then I believe once, hopefully we get some applications, we will have
Then a meeting,
A
a joint
joint
meeting
meeting.
with them.
either at their meeting or at ours, hopefully we can do that, and then we'll fill the vacancy.
So yeah, it's not on here yet. For, these are all the volunteer opportunities, and these are all committees. So Board of Health is not on here yet.
Okay, so we'll follow up on that as well then.
Yep,
So
we have to let Lisa know that we'd like it to be added.
vacancy, Board of Health position, and tentative meeting date for a joint meeting.
Meeting, we can't do anything about that yet.
Well, I'm just
until we
saying
get
a tentative
applicants.
date, just to kind of see maybe
I
hopefully a
don't
month.
know when they meet, so, let me see.
That's what I'm saying, maybe we can just look into kind of their schedule and ours and see what matches up to see if we can
Let's see, when was the last time I-
kind of set something to hopefully have some applications in that we can make a decision on.
So if they met on the 25th, they would be meeting again tonight. Let me see. I can see it here. Tax bills, I don't. Half of the time their thing doesn't work so well. Calendars, let me see if there's anything on the calendar.
I don't think they meet till next week, I believe. I don't think they meet till
But
next
they
week.
met, they didn't meet last week, so they met the week before, because the 25th, I believe, I was off. I'm looking to see, no, and their meetings aren't listed here, so it's hard to say. Yeah, I was off on the 25th, and I went to one of their meetings, so this would be, unless they had a meeting last week, this would be their time to have a meeting.
Yeah, I mean, as long as
Yeah.
we
As long
post
as
it.
we
within-
figure it out.
Yeah, we post it, I'm just saying we can start maybe looking into it, just kind of see what lines up with their schedule and ours, and hopefully we'll
Right.
have an application or
Yeah,
two.
I can check when they're
Yeah.
meeting, and then see if if they're meeting any of the days that we are, but we still have to wait to get applications in.
Yep, okay.
That would be the first thing. I had a question about the mattress bill. I was trying to figure out if that was, did we have them pick up mattresses? Because there was a bill here for 8 units. Let me see if I can find it again. Green mattress. Did we have them? Can you pass that to Gil? Like with these side of the road mattresses?
This is just some notes I had just for follow-up items for,
Oh, okay, yes,
just to go over with Teresa and Gil for tomorrow,
yeah.
all the stuff we discussed.
And, job description for the nurse.
Yep.
Okay, you, procedure, but also job description.
Yeah, just that.
Add that job description in that second part.
I believe that is what they're charging now, that's why we went up on the mattresses. There's 3
But why are they
mattresses.
billing us?
Yeah, 'cause
Is that the company that picks up from us?
that's the company that
Okay.
picks up from us.
All right,
So
all
this
right.
is why we increased the fee of the other mattress.
Okay, because there's another company, Hands Up, that will go directly and do curbside pickup.
Right,
And they charge 50.
yeah. Oh, Green Mattress will also do curbside. I think they picked up in Hanson before for something.
Oh, they did, I had mine picked up.
So,
Okay, that was just, I signed it though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I just was like, why, and then I get it. That's from our container. There, because we had them and then we had somebody else.
Okay. And as far as the agenda goes, I think that was about it, unless there's anything else.
No,
Gil, you did have, what was it, a complaint letter or something? Are you gonna touch base on that?
This is kind of. I was going to ask you about this. Did you read this? I mean,
I haven't seen it.
This is specific to a person, so I see Teresa had it here, but.
Have you looked into this or
Yes.
interested? Do you want to just give it a quick
Well, there was a
overview?
complaint about an attendant and his treatment of a person that was not very friendly at the transfer station. The person didn't want to wait in line, and the person jumped ahead of somebody. And once he jumped ahead of somebody, he started throwing things in the compactor that didn't go along there.
The person, we've had that happen before, but yeah.
And it got in a confrontation, and the citizen was reported to the police, and
Which we've had before.
and of course they, he filed a complaint about our attendant filed a complaint about him. I looked into it. Fortunately, we had a couple of good people that saw what the situation took place, and they backed up the attendant, and the person did call Teresa to see if they could come back to the transfer station, and
Oh,
Teresa, yeah, it was turning pretty nasty. So the person, I don't know how Teresa wanted to present this. I saw that sitting there, because we can't, talk about the attendant.
No.
I think we
We can talk about the incident.
Yeah, talk about the incident.
Was the person told that they could not come back to the transfer station? Is that why they called to ask?
That was part of the argument. The person was throwing stuff in, and he was putting stuff where he should have been going. Should have been in recycling instead of trash. And
Right.
it became so. We had a couple of very good reputable people watching the situation, and they backed our attendant. And the person did go back to the transfer station over the weekend, and was
This
very
person has
nice.
a sticker, I'm assuming.
Yeah, has a sticker, and treated the attendant very nice. And we call it. I think the reason why Teresa, I think Teresa wanted the board to decide what should do. I think it's pretty much resolved.
Except
If the
I
person-
know in the past when that's happened, I've written a letter to the homeowner and said, you were at the transfer station and this happened, this cannot happen again, because then your ability to use the transfer station can be revoked. Just to let them know that we're aware of it, and that's not the kind of behavior that should be happening up there. You can't just pick on those guys because you're in a hurry
Right.
or in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Not acceptable.
I mean, I think we have it documented that, if something else is the turn of it, that we have that documented, and if the board needs to do anything about it, we can at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the guy was very good over this past weekend when he was there. He returned there, and I believe he did call Teresa, ask if he could go back to the transfer station, and Teresa said, the board was going to discuss it. I think that's why that's here tonight.
Okay.
I didn't ask her about it today, about, like I know we can't, discuss the attendant, but the person's behavior, and it's pretty well documented. I think we're still waiting for a statement from one of the.
Was there any concerns with the attendant with this individual returning to use the transfer station?
No, not until the guy went back there this weekend, and everything was all right. The guy was very nice to him, and just like nothing happened.
Yeah,
So
but
it's-
something happened.
Something happened.
So it sounds like we can chalk it up as a bad day and it's been resolved.
I would
We shouldn't
say
hear
so
any more
right
about
now.
But she's going to keep a copy of that,
Oh yeah.
so that we
yeah,
know.
it. Sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's very well documented, so.
So,
It doesn't sound like we
Did
really
you
need to
read
do
this?
anything about it as far as taking any action.
Yeah.
did you read this? That was the question, the procedure you were talking about. So we need to provide some kind of a written notice to the Board of Selectmen, which we could vote on doing that and have Teresa do it,
Yep.
to the Board of Selectmen saying that we have a vacancy.
Oh, did Teresa have that in the mail folder?
It was in here. Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah.
But it gives the entire procedure.
That's from the town
I'm
clerk,
just
right?
rechecking to make sure we sign, because she'll be after us.
Yeah, that's the procedure I was talking about.
That's it, it's outlined there, but we have to do it in writing, so.
So, as far as filling this vacancy, from what this says,
Mhm.
what I understand, it basically says that within 30 days of the vacancy, we have to give notice to the selectmen.
I thought it said a week.
No, so it says within 1 month. The remaining members of the board shall give written notice within 1 month of said vacancy to the selectmen, who with the remaining members of such board, meaning us, shall after 1 week's notice. So we notify them within 30. After 1 week after we've notified them,
Yep.
then we can fill such vacancy by roll call vote, is what this says.
Okay.
Now, if the board fails to give said notice within that time frame, the selectmen have the
Just
ability
have
to
the ability-
fill the vacancy.
Yep.
And it says a majority of votes of the members of both boards entitled to vote shall be necessary to appoint.
Okay. So on the first, what did I read that it said within 1 week? The remaining
After
members
1
shall give
week's
written notice. Oh, win month. Okay.
You have to wait 1 week following your notice to fill the vacancy. You can't just give notice and then
And then fill. Oh yeah.
You have 30 days to
Okay.
notify, and then you have 1 week
Week to
minimum after that. You have to
Yeah.
wait at least a week and then it can be filled.
Yeah.
So we'll get Teresa to
To notify.
notify
That's-
them tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just
Do
up
you
to
want
vacancy.
to take a vote? I will make a motion that we have Teresa notify the Board of Selectmen of our vacancy on the Board of Health.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor? Aye,
That way
okay.
it's clear. I think I double checked everything and it should be signed.
Okay. All right, so all the invoices, minutes, everything
Yep,
looks like it's been
everything's in there
signed.
signed. Yep, I went through them twice to make sure we both signed them.
We bounced around a little bit, but we got through it
Yep.
with the
Was there
agenda.
anything, were you done with your report?
Oh, yeah, kind of. One other thing I want to ask, like, I noticed that, if, a lot of things come email now, things in the past that usually come in hard mail, you're not getting them as much anymore. The mail is pretty much nil. So, it comes email now. And some things I get, you probably don't get, and you probably get something I don't get.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe I'm gonna come up with a procedure myself that I see things like the Stumpbrook Dam in Montponce. I monitor that and Board of Health and Water Department wise. So that comes email now. It used to come hard copies, 6 months at a time, but there's a lot of things I see in,
People are saving on postage.
so, but, I'm just saying that, I think this, the email part, and I think, I'll try to come up with stuff that I feel, and maybe scan it to you. Do you mind we scan an email and stuff as far as what I seem to think myself is important the board should know about?
You can
'Cause
probably
everything's
just forward it to us.
Everything's email now.
Yeah.
I get, we get things that, like, I know sometimes they become long-winded, but maybe if I scan what I'm talking about and email it to you, it'll be.
We can read it ahead of time.
So,
If it's something, that we need to read ahead of time, that helps.
so. I guess I'm clear with this, so
That's it.
that's it.
All right.
so far.
If we don't have anything else, I'll entertain a motion to.
I will make a motion that we adjourn.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor? Aye.
5:13.